This is First Coast News on your side. We begin with breaking news.
And that breaking news right now at 5, former Douglas Anderson teacher Jeffrey Clayton, just taken from a Duval County courtroom in handcuffs, sentenced to 10 years in prison for crimes against a 16-year-old student. Thank you for joining us tonight for First Coast News at 5 on this Friday. I'm Heather Crawford. And
I'm Anthony Austin. Our top story tonight at 5, we have team coverage for you on today's court proceedings on the sentencing of Jeffrey Clayton. Renata DiGregorio, Rich Donnelly, and Jeannie Blaylock have been following the story and will bring you team coverage tonight. And as we mentioned, the 66-year-old learned he will spend the next 10 years in prison and 3 years on probation. Rich Donnelly is joining us live with what happened inside the courtroom today. Rich.
Anthony, the courtroom was full. In fact, so many people came to the courthouse today for the sentencing of Jeffrey Clayton that an overflow room was opened so people could watch it on a live feed. Inside of the courtroom, many former students and family members of those students were in tears while Jeffrey Clayton apologized for what he did. Jeffrey Clayton was taken from the courtroom in handcuffs, sentenced to 10 years in prison for the crimes in which he pled guilty. One of the most powerful moments during the hearing came when the state played a phone call between the teenage victim and Clayton that was recorded by police that detailed Clayton's criminal actions.
Trust me, I would love to be alone with you. As scary as it is, I still can't fathom that I'm kissing a 16-year-old young woman passionately. I don't know what I'm thinking.
Clayton had his head down with his face in his hands for a majority of the call. 3 other former students testified about their experiences with Jeffrey Clayton. All have accused Clayton, but he maintains his innocence and has not been charged with respect to their claims.
I find it difficult to trust that anyone genuinely wants to be my friend. Is it prying for any details of what happened or trying to explain it themselves? I began my recovery process through therapy, which I believe shall be necessary for the rest of my life.
Prior to his sentence being handed down, Clayton made allocution to the court and apologized to his family, the Douglas Anderson community, and the teenage girl with whom he is charged in this case.
To the victim in this case, I am so sorry for the pain and damage I have caused you. If you were wondering why this would happen to you and what you did to deserve this, the answer is nothing.
Jeffrey Clayton was sentenced to 10 years in prison for his crimes against a former student and will go to prison immediately. Reporting live outside of the Duval County Courthouse, Rich Donnelly, First Coast News, on your side.
Rich, thank you. And it has been over a year since Jeffrey Clayton was arrested for inappropriately touching and kissing a student. This comes after the teacher exchanged 1,700 text messages with the teen over several months last year, according to an arrest warrant. Now, since Jeffrey Clayton's arrest in March last year, multiple other teachers have been removed from Douglas Anderson classrooms.
Former students of Clayton describe inappropriate comments dating back to his second year teaching about 2 decades ago. And right now, our Renata DiGregorio is on your side, joining us live at the courthouse with a closer look at how we got here, Renata.
Anthony, Heather, Jeffrey Clayton was arrested last year, but court documents show he was reported for his behavior with students years earlier. One woman who was his student in 2002 says that she remembers him making inappropriate comments to other girls in her class.
She was an amazing singer, and he took a lot from her. He took a lot from all of us.
Shyla Jenkins says her love of singing was destroyed when she was Jeffrey Clayton's student. He was her vocal teacher at Douglas Anderson School of the Arts during his first years on the job.
20 years of grooming, 20 years of abuse. I've been collecting over this last year stories from different DA alum, vocal alums specifically, about the behavior and really the tirade of what became Jeffrey Clayton.
Clayton's career at DA started in 2000. Court documents show in 2016 and 2021, he was disciplined for commenting on students' looks and rubbing their backs. Jenkins says Clayton commented on girls' bodies long before that.
There was decades of people, parents, teachers, students coming forward and reporting this. And he'd get a slap on the wrist.
On March 22nd, 2023, Clayton was arrested, accused of kissing a 16-year-old student during a private singing lesson. In the days that followed, more teachers were removed from DA classrooms. For Jenkins, it's change a long time coming.
doesn't need to hurt them anymore, and it doesn't need to have any kid walking out of there damaged anymore, and that's what I'm fighting for, and that's what I'll continue to fight for as I push for change at the school.
She says even with Clayton in prison, she will be pushing for accountability in the school system. Reporting live in Duval County, Renata DiGregorio, First Coast News, on your side.